Hi there. I'd like to introduce you to a truly remarkable nutrient solution, the Aroma Formula. The Aroma Formula is built in 5 bottles. The reason why we build it in 5 bottles is to give you absolute control over your nutrient solution. So what we have here is we have a vegetation A, a vegetation B, we have a flowering A, and we have a flowering B. We also have a microelements that is used between the 2 stages of growth, flowering and vegetation growth. Now, because we use this formula as a monitoring the leaf color of the plants, light green, we want to increase the food more than what we have on our chart. Dark green, we may want to back off on the food, you may want to hold the nutrient solution at that milliliter level, or you may want to increase it still. You'll understand your plant soon. You'll be able to know when you want to go and increase it and decrease it. So what we go and do is, for every 10 liters of water that we have in our reservoir, we're going to add 24 mils of VA and VB. We're going to add all the other additives that we like to use to help the plants grow. In this case, we're going to recommend Power Thrive and Let's Start. Once you have those added to your nutrient solution and mixed well, you're going to set the pH at 6.1. We like the 6.1 for vegetation because that leaves certain mineral elements more available to the plants than if we were to be lower in our pH range. So once the pH is set, then we introduce the microbase. The microelements we don't want to damage by adjusting the pH, so we add it at the very end. Also, the microelements, we don't want to be increasing them as we feed our plants. Remember, this is a push and pull type of nutrient solution. Push the plants or pull back from the plants, whichever the case is going to be. You have to make that decision. We're sitting here 3,000 miles away, and we don't have a clue what you need to go and do. We know what you basically need to do, but you as a gardener, you can fine-tune your garden to make it really yield very nicely. So we start off with the 24 mils, we build the solution, we feed it to the plants, we change the nutrient solution on the 4th day. And we're going to build it up by 2 more mils because we feel that's the right amount. But if you need to go to 28 mils, then go to 28 mils. You're gardening, you understand what's going on with your plants. So every 4 days, we're going to increase the milliliter content to the plant. We always use the same amount of our additives. We don't increase them. We always set the pH to 6.1, and we always add our microbase at the very end of making up our nutrient solution. So once we get ready for flowering, we have a little bit of a different understanding of what we got to do. On our chart here, what we've done is we've grown to the 24th day using 36 mils of VA and VB. Now we're going to start our flowering, so we've lowered our lights, the amount of hours on our lights, and on day 1 of flowering, we're going to start off at 38 mils, 2 mils more than we did in vegetation. We're going to keep this push the plants. At some point, we're going to have to hold. Don't increase the nutrient solution. Hold it there. You may have to back away. Allow the plant to gather its health. Once the plant's gathered its health, then we're going to push that plant hard again, and we're going to give them that nutrient that they so desperately want. They don't desperately want, they just want to grow. So we keep on increasing it. We add all our favorite additives. Again, in this case, we're adding Power Thrive. We're using Let's Flower. At about the 3rd week into flowering, we want you to use one of our PK Bloom boosters. Power to Bloom. Power to Bloom is used at 1 gram per 10 liters of water. So remember that, because it is a very strong formulation. So 1 gram per 10 liters of water, we feed that to the plants. Again, 4 days later, we remove that solution, we build up another nutrient solution. Now, if the plants haven't had that solution for 4 days because they're not at the right time, you may need to apply Power to Bloom for a second application. Once you've applied that 4 days later, the flowers have gotten bigger, we want you to mist oomph power onto the plants. By misting oomph power onto the plants, that's just going to drive the oils up, and the plants are going to do that much better. A lot of people are worried about misting water onto the plants, but oomph power is designed to build the health of the plants up greatly. By building it up greatly, a strong plant is going to repel bacteria and molds and fungi that are trying to attack it and damage it. But they're gonna like it better because the plant tastes better, so we've got to remember that one. So 4 days later, we're gonna mist the Jung powder onto the plants, allow that to run its course. At approximately the 5th week, we're gonna introduce Power to Bloom again, 1 gram of it. 4 days later, we're going to mist the plants with Jung powder to allow the plants to run their course. Again, we're watching the color of the plants. Light green, increase the milliliters. Proper green, hold. Deep green, proper green, you can push or hold. Dark green, hold or back off. That's up to you. Once you understand what you got to do at the different times of your growth, you can put them into the blanks that we have here. Notice that we haven't taken any of the other numbers off because those aren't going to change. So once we get so far into the garden, the Let's Flower is no longer used. We're going to use a product called Let's Fruit. We're going to run that in the nutrient solution for the last half of the flowering period. By doing this, we get an opportunity to give the plants elements that is going to help them ripen their plant. As we get closer to harvest, because we've increased to such a strong strength of nutrient solution in the plants, we're going to use something to wash the plants out. We created the rinse solution to go and do exactly that. The rinse solution will take those mineral elements and allow the plant to work with them and finalize what they need to build within their bodies to go and give us what we want. So your yield should be quite high off of this formula because you're always pushing the plants to get the plants the biggest, the best, and the strongest plant you can get. What more can we say? Have a good day.